Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode, an international episode of the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles coming to you from Dubrovnik, Croatia, where it is 2 a.m. Definitely earlier than we've ever done a TFR before, but we are committed to doing this. And the reason why is especially because it's the topic we're going to talk about today, which is go after every carrot that LifeVantage throws at you, is why we would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to talk about this, because it is so powerful. It is so important. It is something you should be working on, because there's so much to it that you may not understand, which may hold you back from fully committing. But welcome, everybody. We're so excited that you're here. We can't wait to share some information about what our experience has been like over the last 4 or 5 days.
It's gone so fast. I want it to slow down. I don't want to go home. It's so beautiful here, but that is all part of it. But first of all, you notice we don't have slides that we normally would have, but guess what? We're in Croatia, so things are going to be different. And the thing is that you can go back and make sure that you have subscribed to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. Get those notifications when we upload the new content, and so that you can participate and hear the things, no matter how crazy we are, how no makeup, 2 a.m.-ish we really look, and the voices are a little raspy, but that's okay. So we want to dive into this topic about incentives. It's not just incentive trips that we're going to talk about. We're talking about any bit of carrot. And I mean, do you guys remember it's like the carrot would be out in front of the bunny rabbit, right? Yeah. And the bunny rabbit was the carrot,
or a horse,
or for whatever the incentive is that's in front of something to get it to go faster, go further, and to get to that final finish line, right? That's what a carrot is. And LifeVantage is so good at giving us so many carrots to chase that are all in alignment with building our LifeVantage businesses. And so we wanted to talk about this, obviously, because we're on an incentive trip right now, and we want to talk about some of the experiences that we're having. But it really is something that gets you kind of excited and motivated, but you got to be committed to it to follow through. And then in the end, not only do you get to grab hold of the incentive and enjoy it, but you will have grown either as a person and also as your business, or one or the other along the way. So incentives are really important.
Mm-hmm. Incredibly important. And just kind of thinking about the whole reason, why does the company even offer an incentive trip? Because it's just, and here's the other thing. Offering an incentive trip as that carrot or that reward for you doing something that you already committed yourself to do when you signed up as a distributor in LifeVantage, and that is to build your business for whatever your initial reason was, whether it was to have a higher caliber of life, to have a higher caliber of financial success, to be more influential, to be in a great community that sees things the way you see things, or that you would like to see things, to be around people like that. Whatever your initial reason was, building your business is part of that. And that's the interesting thing about this incentive trip, is rewarding people for what they committed to do anyway. Some people may minimize that, but let me stress to you, please don't, because doing what it takes to get on an incentive trip, it's the reward part of it. You're rewarding yourself in a way that you wouldn't otherwise be rewarded. So yes, building your business was something you committed to, and with that comes the compensation, the bonuses, the things like that. But what doesn't necessarily come with that are the experiences, the magnitude of the reward. And one of the things that makes network marketing so appealing for people is it allows them to live a caliber of life that perhaps they wouldn't have had otherwise. And that really kind of speaks to where I want to go with this reward part of it, because it's the experience. It's we have an incentive trip every single year. So if you get committed to making and qualifying and earning every single incentive trip, you will have at least one paid vacation every single year that the company pays for everything, including transportation and lodging and the experience and food and all of those things. But it's who you become as a result of having these experiences, which doesn't come with the expectations of building a business. It's seeing Europe, We're here in Europe, where the place we went to today for the scavenger hunt was built back in the 7th century. So we're looking at, 1,500 years ago. We walked the wall with Marjorie and Sandy Ham tonight of a structure that was built 1,500 years ago. You don't have that in the United States. You don't have that in a typical situation. That is part of the reward that I never saw coming, but it's icing on the cake. And it's just incredible, the reward that you get, the experience that you get, the things you learn about where we are and what, how special I felt as a human being doing that exercise today or yesterday, walking the wall with Marjorie and Sandy and Marcy, and just looking at it and just taking it all in. Those are something we never could have gotten had we pushed for and qualified for this incentive trip. And that's just one of the many things that come along with this, is the reward, the experience, the memories that you will create. And if you're like Marjorie, and every single thing that happens around you is getting videotaped or photographed, so she can actually quantify every single moment of this experience, I envy that, because that is such a valuable thing that most people miss the opportunity to do, to even have, is to have an experience like that. So it's incredible.
Yeah. So Dondi had mentioned something about, being in a place that is so old. I mean, there's nothing in America that is as old as where we were today.
No.
Not one thing, right? Other than the dirt, maybe. But the thing is that we are becoming more, because we're getting educated by experience. And by coming here, it's like, I don't know, put in the comments section if you even knew where Croatia was before LifeVantage offered us this incentive trip. Did you know where Croatia was? We really didn't. We had no clue where Croatia was. And then on top of it, until we got here, we had absolutely no idea what Croatia looks like as a country. And like where we are in Dubrovnik it's like a sliver along the coast. They've got the beautiful parts of it, right? They've got this absolutely gorgeous water line. They have this coast of rocks and beautiful blue water. They have this amazing hillside that they use every single bit of it. We went out on a walk and you got to pick ripe figs from the trees out of the courtyards of the church. And I've never had a fig that tasted so good, because nothing we get in America is actually tree ripened, right? It's pulled off of the tree before it's ripe. And so just being able to physically touch these things and experience these things, and then to see that we were able to ride this tram up to the top of the hill and sit at this panorama restaurant where we're looking at the coast and looking at Croatia. And then when we're told that directly behind us on the other side, if we just swivel around, is Bosnia. We're right on the border of Bosnia. And then being able to learn about the war that went on back in 1992 and for a few years after that, and what led up to it with Yugoslavia. And you're like, why are we talking about this? This is history, right? Well, the thing is it is the best form of education by being in it. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you want to learn something, experience it for yourself. Don't just open a book, go and experience it. Because once you experience it personally, this is something that I will never, ever forget, right? I can read a lot of books and not remember everything that's in them, but just the education that you get when you come on incentive trips, especially when we're brought somewhere like this, like Croatia, it's amazing. But the memories that we are creating, I mean, the Dubrovnik challenge that we did yesterday was phenomenal. We got to work with some people that we've known for a long time, but not really known. And we've developed friendships that now it's like we look at them differently. They're just as competitive as we are. We had a great time running around this old town and finding all the different things and just creating this inner circle of people that we will be able to reach out to and have conversations with and ask questions of. Where if we hadn't been here, we wouldn't have had that relationship that was developed. And we were currently, just before we got on this Zoom, we were on the book club Zoom that we're doing, and we're reading Ed Milet's book, The Power of One More. And it talks about how important it is to be very selective of who your inner circle is. And there is no better place to be able to meet people that are pushing for dreams very similar to yours, that are working super, super hard, that are willing to do whatever it takes, that are going to do what they say they're going to do, and they're going to get the prize or get the carrot. Then here on incentive trips, that's where you will find those people that you can really develop those friendships with, to be able to really help you move forward, not just in your LifeVantage business, but in life in general. So I love the way here in this area, when we go to different places, first of all, we're all learning together. It's an even playing ground, right? But learning and growing together with people and relationships, it's completely different when you're in a different country.
Yeah, it's interesting too when you look at the family dynamics or being entrepreneurs, because we're entrepreneurs as network marketing distributors, professional network marketing distributors. And some of us do it part-time, some of us do it full-time. But when you look at entrepreneurship in America or wherever we happen to be, and most of us are coming from America with regard to our businesses, we have a certain example of what we see, how it functions around us, the examples that we have. Well, one of the things we did 2 days ago was we rode on a pirate ship to an island, one of the islands of Croatia, just offshore a couple of miles. And we went into this little village. And as we were walking around, we went into this store where they sell dresses and clothes and bracelets and food items and stuff. And we bought some drinks and we take them to the counter, and there's 3 children behind the counter. And I don't even think the oldest one was 6 years old. So it's obviously their family business. And how incredibly sharp they are as entrepreneurs. This is their family business. They rely on tourism, but they were also very cordial. They were also very animated in interacting with us. And they don't have the digital scanning device where you take the QR code or the barcode and you scan it and it comes up as the dollar value on the cash register. They just know in their heads how much things cost in their store. And for our benefit, they put it into a calculator and then show us the calculator of how much it is in kuna, which is their denomination of currency. And watching these little kids and then trying to negotiate with them or trying to trip them up a little bit and try to say, no, it's more than that or less than that or whatever, and how sharp they are. And just listening to that interaction, realizing this is their frame of reference. This is all they know. It's their family business. They take pride in it. They're passionate about it. But their parents, there wasn't a parent around, but how much trust they have in them. And I look at that and I thought, wow, what an interesting example of that kind of responsibility. And it wasn't that they were doing it. They weren't endangered servants or indentured servants. They weren't there out of regret. And they were enjoying the experience. They were having as much fun as we were selling us these things. And it just made the entire experience so joyful, but also pretty impactful, looking at, wow, look at this, how other places live, and learn from that. And not necessarily want to go back and replicate that, but be impressed by how people in their own element that is different than our own, how much we can learn from it, how much we can admire it, and realize had we not been on this incentive trip, we never would have had that experience. That's one of the extra secret benefits we never saw coming, but I will talk about that forever because I have children that used to be that age. And I'm thinking, wow, how interesting was that? And that was something we never anticipated, never saw coming, but that was one of the highlights of my day.
Yeah. And so Donji had mentioned experiences. That was one of the amazing ones that we've had so far. But another one is going back to the circle of friends. It's like tomorrow we're looking forward to going out on a full day boat excursion with Fry and his fiance getting married right after we get back, that Christy, and also with Bobby and April Wagner, right? Really, really phenomenal, strong leaders in LifeVantage. And we get to spend the full day with just the 3 couples of of us, being able to enjoy each other in conversation, setting goals, because through an emotional experience, you guys remember about your why, right? Your why needs to be so emotionally connecting to you so that you'll make sure that you'll keep pushing forward till you get to your end goal, right? So maybe for some of us, the reason why we haven't gotten to our end goal yet is because we haven't had experiences that have created emotions and really been that emotional binder that has stuck us to our desires to get us to that end point. A lot of the times we'll set goals or we'll have the reason why we want to build our business, but because we don't have that emotional connection, we quit, or we find a shiny object and we get distracted, or we don't do what we need to do to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. So that's another reason why you need to chase all of the incentives, and especially, you know, incentive trips is for the emotional binder, for the memories that you're going to be creating. And when you're doing that, when you have come on a trip like this, it's like, I will tell you, I mean, we're up at this, it's 2:15 in the morning here now, right? And Marjorie's on with us now too. And so glad we're going to have her share some of her thoughts here in just a moment. But you are put into such an emotional and a physical peak state. I mean, do you know yesterday, it did over 20,000 plus steps. A couple days before that, we were like 24,000 steps. And we're talking like 100 stories almost, you know, of floors, because there's stairs everywhere here, by the way.
That is true. There's stairs everywhere.
It's crazy. But so that means that not only were we on emotional highs, but our physical state is on as high as well. And when you get both of those put together, most of the time, you know, we're our emotions are, if we can get both of them in a peak state at the same time, basically it puts it to where we're using all of our body, we're using all of our brain. Remember in a call, I think just a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how you only use 5% of your brain, the conscious mind, and 95% we're not using. We use, you know, we're not using it consciously. And so if we can put ourselves into a physical peak state and an emotional peak state at the same time, then we are using all of us all of the time working towards our goals if we set goals in that state. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope I didn't lose all of you. But having that excitement, the energy, and the physical energy as well is the best place to set your goals from. And so being on these trips and setting goals on these trips is the best time and best place. So another reason why incentive trips are a great place to be. Right. So, hey, Marjorie, why don't we have you come on and share with us, see if you can unmute yourself, or if I need to, I'm going to ask. Yep. Marjorie, share with us what this trip has been like for you and why you would tell people they need to, you know, go for every incentive.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's 2 a.m. here in Dubrovnik, Croatia. And I wish I could put and express everything in one word, how I'm feeling right now. All the excitement, the happiness, and especially that this incentive trip always fall during our anniversary month. So I don't have to pay. So it's always very special. I always have a special gift for my husband. So actually was very skeptical about LifeVantage, but because of the incentive trip, he said, wow, I can't believe that your company is doing this for all of you. So the experience for the past 3 days, I'm just wishing that from our team were here to experience this. And this is one place that I want to bring my kids back here. I want them to experience my legs is so sore right now, but it's okay because I'm so happy. You walk the wall, oh my God, the boat tour and everything. And that's why I would really encourage our team to really work hard that we could go together to the next incentive trip. And so Marcy was talking about why being part of LifeVantage is not just about the health benefits as well as the financial benefits, but it's really my mom never had the chance to travel. She passed away and she was not even able to travel even in the Philippines. So I promised myself that I don't want to be like my mom. I want to travel the whole Philippines, all over the world. And that's the reason why I am so excited, and I'm always wanting to go to every incentive trip. And LifeVantage is giving us this for free. And this is the reason why, like, I really encourage everyone that really need to go to this incentive trip, because you will get to experience the generosity of our company. They're very extravagant, like the gifts, the free food, everything. They even give us like allowances, like money. So it's so amazing. And right now, like, I did not sleep yet, because I'm so excited just to share the experience and looking forward to explore more the place. And to all our team, let's work harder so we can go together to the next incentive trip. So mabuhay ang Philippines. So wherever you are right now, our global team, like, I'm very grateful to God, to LifeVantage, and to our team, because I could have not achieved this without all your help.
Amen. Amen. And Marjorie hit on something so important there. We want all of you here. That's what would make this trip better, is having all of you here with us or on the next trip with us, because it is so much better when we're all here together. And if we all work together, there's no reason why you can't achieve the incentive trips. It's like some people will think it's like, well, I just can't do that. It's just so hard. In all reality, it's not. It is simple. They lay it out for us so simply on how to accomplish these incentive trips. It's a matter of if you are willing to do what it takes to accomplish this goal. And so setting goals is really important, but part of it has to come from being there when they make announcements for goals too. And
Right.
Global Convention is just around the corner. If you're not registered for Global Convention, you need to be in the room. You need to be there with us. You still have time. Make the arrangements, share rooms. If you need to drive in, it's okay. But be in Phoenix in October, and hopefully they'll be announcing the next incentive trip, because we're so excited to get to work on it, because we personally have decided that we will never miss another incentive trip. And part of never missing the incentive trips is running for all of the smaller incentives too.
Yes.
Like for taking advantage of collagen cash that we still have for this month and next month. You want to make sure that you're going out and you're sharing this amazing new product with all these before and after photos. Just take the pictures and show people the pictures and say, do you want to look like this or do you want to look like this? Right? Or do you want to have this benefit, or you want to keep feeling the way you're feeling? Because collagen is a game changer for us in our businesses, because you don't have to talk about the science with collagen. Don't get into the science. Don't get into the weeds, because that is what has made it so difficult for so many people to build their businesses, is because they've become, we're talking about diseases. We're talking about different things that we shouldn't be talking about, period. But keep it simple. Let's share the collagen activation story, show the before and after photos, and let's just sell a crap ton of collagen, earn all the collagen cash. You'll have a lot of the money that you'll need to be able to pay for your trip to Global Convention and be there for all of the next incentives that are going to be coming down the line. The thing is, if you make the decision to run for the incentive, setting a bigger goal than you might normally set, you will always get further than if you hadn't even tried. So incentives.
Yes.
Use the carrot, chase the carrot, because you will never have a regret if you go for it. But I don't know how many times I can name some trips that we did not earn, that I have regrets that we didn't earn them. But I never, ever, ever have had a regret for one of the trips that we've been on. Right? I don't want to live my life with regrets.
Well, I would say for me, and the only regret being on the ones that we qualify for is that more of our team isn't there with us.
Absolutely.
That is a regret.
Yes.
Because it's something, and every single team has the same feeling, that when they benefit, when they have the experience of the incentive trip, they know that if there's always names attached, if this person could just be here, it would make all the difference in the world in their business, in their life, in their commitment to this business, to growing their business. If they could just see what I'm seeing now, and every single person who's here is having that same experience on some level. But it's when you see people try and give up before they really get started, that's the sad part. And so why I wanted to say that is because the company knows that. And that's why we have things like double points and triple points. Because if you see those kinds of incentive options that are on an incentive trip, those kinds of offers where you get double points or triple points, take full advantage of every one of those and try to qualify for the trip as soon as possible, because the longer it delays, the more people get hopeless and helpless. And there was people that qualified for this trip with all the points in the very first month that the incentive was open, and it was what, 9 or 10 months?
Oh, it was
of qualification, and people got it in the first month because there was triple points. And that's a great strategy. So to go out and get it done, and then help, once you're already qualified, then turn around and help other people qualify. And you could even do that simultaneously. But the one regret is not having more of our team here, and every single person who's here has that same exact regret. That's how special and important these incentive trips are, and why you should do everything you can to get a free trip. Like Marjorie said, free trip, free food, everything paid for. And it's the experiences that come along with that are not free, they're priceless. So when you get something priceless for free, it may seem out of exchange, but there is, and I'm not exaggerating, there are priceless memories that we are creating on this trip. And the only thing that would have made it better is having more people on our team here.
Yes. Okay. So some of the priceless memories, just so you know, and you're not going to be able to fully grasp this because you're not here, right? That's the things we can't always just share with you, the amazing things. I mean, how about seeing Kristen Cunningham dressed up as Popeye? As Popeye in a pub here in Old Town. And then how about our CEO, Steve Fife? He was dressed up. What was he?
Was the customs master.
He was the customs master. He was all dressed up in, the old garb of a customs master as part of the challenge that we did yesterday. It was amazing. But knowing that those are the types of people that are at the helm of our ship, that they are willing to go out there and, laugh at themselves and just have a great time with all of us, because they want this to be an experience that will propel us into the next thing that we're working for. So guys, say yes to you and say yes to all of the incentives. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Show that.
Can
you see it?
There's Kristen Cunningham dressed up as Popeye.
Isn't that like the best? And then she had, part of the challenge was that somebody had to arm wrestle her from each group, and we had to win. And thankfully she let us win, but it was awesome. So guys, running for everything. As I said before, if you say yes that you're going to go for it, always do what you say you're going to do, right? So do all of the behaviors, follow the outline, keep it simple, but keep doing it over and over and over again. And you're going to accomplish a heck of a lot more than you would have if you hadn't said yes. And you'll have all of these experiences. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So all y'all know who our CEO is, right? Well, how about this aspect of our CEO? The customs master. Isn't that just awesome? I mean, seriously, we are so blessed with the leadership that we have here at this company. We are so blessed to be in this company at this time. We are blessed with the incentives that LifeVantage gives us all of the time, consistently. I mean, right now we've got college and cash and we still have MVP. If you're not running for those right now, that's where you need to start. Okay, so say yes to the incentives, say yes to the next trip, but say yes to you because you deserve it. And we want you on the next trip with us and with Marjorie, because we know Marjorie's going to be there. We know we're going to be there because we've made the decision that we're not going to miss out anymore, that we're worthy of it, that we deserve it, and we want it. But we also believe that you're worthy of it, that you deserve it. And we hope that you want it bad enough that you'll do the work to get it.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Yeah, and we are, and this is another thing too, is that we don't want to minimize the people that have earned the trip never did it by themselves. There was always a team attached to that. And sometimes some of those team members aren't able to qualify themselves. But that's one of the things, is that when everybody is working towards it, they will allow other people to get there. And that's one of the things, is try to qualify as quickly as possible, and then try to help as many of your team that wants to do it. And this is another thing. Some people just don't even try. Try to convince them to just try, because even if they try and they try and they try and they're building their business and they're accruing points, but they don't end up getting enough points, they still built their business. And their business is still better off than had they not tried in the first place. But if we all pull together and we establish that commitment to earn the incentive trip as quickly as possible after it's announced, then the more of us are going to be able to be there. But making it a consistent effort, and that is something the two of us, Marcy and I, are going to be better at, is helping us see how it's possible, putting together a game plan from the moment it's announced. This is how we can qualify to get there. These are the steps that need to be taken. These are the activities that need to be done, the invites, the follow-ups, all the things that yield generating an enrollment in your business as a customer or a distributor. And then talk about how to break that down and make it as simple as possible. And it's never going to be easy, but it will always be simple.
Yeah.
You just have to do the things required to get there. And we will try to instill confidence and belief, and more importantly, a system and a strategy to get you there, so it doesn't seem overwhelming and daunting, which is why sometimes people just don't commit to it, because it seems too difficult to attain. We want to make that easier.
Well, if you just commit to yourself and commit to being successful in business, because guess what? Being successful in business is never easy.
No.
People that are not part of network marketing companies, that don't have these incentives to really run for, they still have to really work their butts off to be successful in business. So why don't we just work our butts off to be successful in your LifeVantage business and earn all the incentive trips and go places, enjoy yourself, and just get rewarded in ways that other successful business people don't, because they're not doing what we're doing.
You know, it's interesting to that point. There's another group.
And then we got to go to bed.
Yeah. There's another company that is here at the resort with us, not a network marketing company, a traditional type company, where this is their incentive trip too. But what they had to do to qualify was very different than what we had to do. And their experience is very different. Their company is not going all in on literally spoiling them rotten. They're at a wonderful place, but the things that their company has them doing is nothing like what our company is having or is doing for us. And we didn't realize that until we're at the pool next to people from this other company, not network marketing, but they are here as well. And they're really blown away by what our company is doing for us in this environment. And we don't have to work while we're here. This is all leisure and play for us. They have to work. It is a great location. It's an incentive trip they won, but they have to work while they're here. Imagine being in paradise and having to work. It's it's obviously better than being at home and having to work necessarily, which is why they're here and why their company puts it on for them. But network marketing, specifically LifeVantage, and how we celebrate our people when they qualify is so different. And we didn't really even realize that until we had another example here that we could compare ours to. And our experience is nothing. We're having such a much more wonderful experience, unfortunately. Now, and I don't even, you can't even diminish what they're going through because they're here rather than being back home. But it's the real deal. LifeVantage is the real deal. And this is they're calling this the trip of a lifetime for a reason. It is the trip of a lifetime. So make it a point to not miss any more incentive trips if you missed this one.
And don't worry, you haven't missed the best trip, because they always find a way to make it better.
They always do.
So
yes.
let's all run for the next one, and let's all be there together. Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Marjorie, for staying up for us. And thank you all for joining us. We love you. We're here to support you. And now we're going to go
to sleep.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.